Hello everybody, it's lunchtime here at the Fort Worth Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. Now while we were out in Texas, we wanted to experience what I've always heard called authentic Texas beef brisket. I've been told that back in North Carolina we don't have the same quality of beef brisket, so we wanted to find some really good Texas style beef brisket while in Texas. So we Googled best beef brisket in Fort Worth and about 10 places came up. So obviously we can't eat it all 10 of them, so we had to pick one. This is one of them. So we are here at the Stockyards. We were going to the Stockyards anyway, so this is the one we decided on. Cooper's Barbecue, Pit Barbecue. So never been here before. We've been to the Stockyards, just not here. And we're going to go into Cooper's and see if they have the authentic Texas beef brisket. Let you know if it's any better than what we can get in some places back home, because we got some good beef brisket back home. So anyway, we're going to step into Cooper's today and have lunch, and we'll let you know how it goes. So stay with us. All right, you ready to have some Texas style beef brisket?
I'm ready.
All right, here's their hours of operation: Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 8:30. Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. They do not accept checks. So okay, we're trying to figure this out here. It says meat price by the pound. You select how much. So I guess you tell them how much meat you want. And then I guess you get all you can eat of the following sides below. So we're waiting in line now to find out. So up here's the menu. Looks like they're taking the orders here. Get close to that menu.
So I'm just going to ask while you're recording. It says prime rib. So would that be like smoked prime rib or?
Well, I've never been here, so I'm probably not the one to ask that. There's the menu. So it looks like they do price it by the pound. I guess if you want less than a pound, you tell them that. So we're going to find out when we get up here. Okay. So apparently you tell them what meat you want right here. They got the meats in this. Oh, they do it? It looks like a smoked prime rib. Wow.
I'm sorry? A quarter pound.
How much is that? I might get like a small cut of that and some brisket.
What's that? Oh.
I don't see it.
$36.49 a pound.
I'm not actually seeing brisket. So then you walk in this next section, they slice it or chop it for you. So you basically tell him how much you want him to cut. You don't even know what it weighs yet. So, got your salads, just dressings, cheese, butter.
How are y'all doing? Welcome.
Good, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So I guess if you want macaroni and cheese, there's some price on those.
Oh, okay. I'd like to know how much meat we cut first, though. I don't know how that's going to... So we're already over 60 bucks because we apparently had him cut off a lot of brisket. So we're going to just get the sides that come with it. I guess this is extra.
Yeah, that's extra. I want to get a fun cobbler. It's like $2. $2.50.
I ain't worried about that. So
Are y'all getting anything else today?
I just want like a 4 ounce of the pecan cobbler. That's it.
So that's the prime rib. As thin as that was, how much was that a pound?
The prime was 0.77. This is like a pound and a half of brisket.
So that's the price per pound. I got you. So if we'd bought a 60 ounce prime rib, it would have been 36. That's about what it usually is in a restaurant.
Any sides, guys?
Just trying to figure this out. This is a little different.
How we doing today? Tuesday. So you get... Yep.
Right here they got some souvenirs. Some t-shirts, hats, sauces, rubs. You know, typical things you would find anywhere. So here's the dining area on the inside. Pan around a little bit. Got nice long tables there. And you get your beans and your, I think beans, onions, and I can't remember what else, pickles or complimentary sides right here. Yeah, right there. Okay. And their sauce is thin vinegar based. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna let Chauncey explain all this because I still don't get it.
I don't know. These are plates.
Yeah, you don't get plates.
I got these family little things.
Yeah, they have those little trays, I guess, for your meat. I don't know. Here's the beans with, looks like maybe peppers in it, and then pickles. Those sides come with it. You can't get macaroni and cheese for extra.
So then our meat, they put all together. So I guess we'll just...
Yeah. So explain how this works, because I'm not sure I quite get it yet.
All I know is that basically he cuts it. You tell him approximately what you want. He can't really cut it by, he don't know.
Yeah, you basically, the meat's priced by the pound on the menu. So you don't just go up and say, I want 10 ounces, because he don't know what 10 ounces is. He
He's
basically,
just kinda guessing.
you tell him where to put the knife at, basically.
Yeah.
And we did that, and we ended up with, I mean, we got a good amount of beef brisket, but we ended up $83 worth of food right here. And I did not think we was going to pay that for a barbecue plate today.
We kind of had to ask. You said these were like $3.
Yeah, but anyway, that's what we got. Smoked prime rib. It looks good. It smells good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very confusing how they do it here.
Yeah.
And you don't get plates. But anyway, you know, it has the authentic Texas barbecue feel on the inside. But we're going to dig in here and let you know how it goes.
All right, so Derek's going to go in for that brisket there.
I'm fixing to tell you if it's any different than the brisket I smoke at home or that we can get at home. Well, that's probably about as tender a piece of brisket as I've ever had. I'm going to dip some in this sauce. The sauce is vinegar based. I did not know Texas. I thought that was only Eastern North Carolina that did such things to meat. But
I'm glad we got it on the side and not over the meat.
that's not a strong vinegar flavor though, like Eastern North Carolina, so it's not bad.
I haven't tried it yet.
That beef brisket is, well, you can look at it, just look how tender that is. I would not be surprised if I couldn't cut that with a fork.
Just about, yeah, it looks like.
Having a little part gristle there, but I guess this is how you do it. Dip it in the meat, or you could pour it over it. I've never had a more tender brisket. I can't say it's so much flavorful I've had, like seasoned and, you know, with the rubs, and even with the smoky flavor is not very strong. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd give that much money for it again though, but it's good.
I couldn't believe how much. But
Yeah.
And I would say, like with the prime rib, it's pretty tender. You can taste some smokiness to it. I mean, I had a little bite of it. Yeah, you taste it. But as far as a lot of other flavor and seasoning, I couldn't.
I don't know if you did that in the barbecue, so I'm just gonna. That's seasoned better than the brisket. It actually has more flavor.
Oh, really? So I hadn't tried the brisket
Maybe I
yet.
just tried that fatty end.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you tried the beans?
no, I have not tried the beans. I like the beans. I like the beans.
Oh, so they're...
That's not your regular baked beans like you get.
No, those are like pinto beans. And I noticed they had like meat in them and stuff like that.
Those are like, you know, if you like pinto beans
Yeah.
with meat in them, that's about what that is.
Yeah.
Those are good.
And then they have the big jars of jalapenos here on the table for you as well. So we're going to eat all this meat.
We're going to eat every bit of it. Okay, well, we're outside now. We've just finished up our lunch here at Cooper's Pit Barbecue at the Fort Worth Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. So I think we're going to have a lot to say on this one. I'll let her start as always. I am going to begin one thing by saying I don't think I've ever been so confused in a restaurant in my life.
That's true.
I've never been to a place that does it like they do it here.
Yeah.
So, and you know, that can go either way, I guess. But if you're not used to it, you can kind of get taken pretty quick. So let me let you go ahead, because I'll probably have a lot to say here.
Okay. Well, for starters, just the look of the building. It's a very rustic looking building, so that
Like what you would want if you was eating barbecue.
and the
in Texas.
inside, you know, the decor and stuff like that is what you'd expect. So that, I mean, that was nice. You know, that was very satisfactory. Yeah, it was confusing when you go inside because we were watching other people, and I'm thinking, okay, are they just ordering meat to take home? But then we saw the signs, you know. So basically, if you want any sides besides the pinto beans, pickles, sliced onions, or the jalapenos on the table, you have to pay extra for that. And the prices are listed for whatever those are.
Like mac and cheese or baked potato.
Yeah, they got like either 4 ounces, which was like $2.49, and then they had 8 ounces, which was, I don't remember because I didn't get it. So anyway, the thing where he had the meat was kind of interesting, as you could see. And for all those meats just sitting out like that, they were still hot and they weren't dry. So I did get excited when I saw the smoked prime ribs. I was thinking, could this be like what Saltgrass had?
Yeah,
So,
this is a leftover from Saltgrass not having it yesterday. I paid dearly for it today, but anyway, couldn't deny her. So
well, we both said we'll get just a small piece and we'll split it. So it was very tender. The most flavorful part that I got was actually where you could see the seasoning up along the top. So when I ate that piece, you know, it was flavorful. Very tender. Didn't really have a lot of a smoked flavor to it, but it was good. I wouldn't get it again here. That's just my opinion. As far as the brisket, yes, it was very tender. If you ate the part that was more in the center, you couldn't really taste the smoked flavoring or any type of seasoning, and we both kind of agreed that it kind of tasted like a pot roast.
yeah.
So it's about that tender. But the meal was good. I'm very full. It's very hard to determine how much meat. He just has put the knife here and determined the cut from that. They did have pecan cobbler, and I love pecan pie. I don't get it very much. He doesn't like it, so when
Well, you can still get it.
yeah, I ain't gonna make a whole pie. But that's why I got it today, just a little 4 ounce. And I wouldn't get it again either. I'd rather have the pie myself.
So if we were back in the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, would you do this again, or would you want to try something else?
I want to try something else.
Okay.
Not saying this ain't bad or this isn't good. It is, but yeah, I'd try somewhere else.
All right. I'm going to give my lengthy closeout here, and then I'm going to ask you a question at the end, so don't let me forget to ask it.
Okay.
I just want to say up front, we always endeavor to give as balanced and honest review as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes pointing out if something's good and if something's bad. And you can have both in the same visit. I know sometimes people, once in a while we'll get a comment like, why do you always criticize? About 98% of our reviews are positive on restaurants. But if something does come up, we're going to tell you. We kind of owe that, to be honest. That's part of the review process. We're not out to I said this when we first started. We're not out to help or hurt any business. I have nothing personal against any business. I'm not in anybody's pocket either. So, you know, we're going to tell you our experience, and that's what it is, our experience. So with that being said, we had planned this before we come out here. We were going to find a place that has the quote, Texas style beef brisket, because that's all you ever hear about. And what we have back home is not authentic. So in making my comparison, I am going to compare it to my 2 favorite places back home to get beef brisket. When I say back home, I mean in places we frequent, not necessarily right at our house. But my 2 favorite places to get beef brisket back home are Haywood Smokehouse in Waynesville, North Carolina, on the North Carolina side of the Smokies, and Preacher Smokehouse outside of Sevierville. Those are probably 2 of the best beef briskets I've had. Now, so that's going to be my standard of comparison today. So I'll start by saying, as you walk in, like she said, all of the meat is in this big container. He pulls it up with a lid, and they've got ribs in there, the smoked prime rib, the
All their meat.
briskets,
Sausage.
chicken, sausage, you
Everything.
name it, they got it. I guess pulled pork too.
Probably.
I didn't really look for that.
Well, it wouldn't be chopped there or pulled. It's all one hunk of meat. They cut it for you
okay.
once you get inside.
Yeah, so you tell them what you want, and it is priced by pound. You tell them what you want, and like on the menu, it said the prime rib was $36.99 a pound. Now, I will say, in fairness, that's priced probably about right. I bought enough prime ribs when in the Smokies to know that if you get a 16-ounce prime rib, it's going to run you about that, and some places even more. So that part was priced about right. I did think the brisket was priced higher than what I've seen before. What was that, 24
$24.99 a
$24.99 a pound. I think that's a little steep.
And let me just say this too. I asked him, I said, how much, like if you order a brisket plate, like at home, at a restaurant, how much do you get? Because I'm trying to
good
determine
question.
what to order, And he says, I don't think it's a pound. No, I don't think it's
No, it's not a pound.
Yeah.
I could tell you that. But yeah, that's what I thought we were going to do. We was going to walk in, look at the menu, order a brisket plate, and that was it. Whatever it is, it is. That's not how they do it here. I've never seen a place that does it like this. You walk in, and they've got like the whole brisket, and you basically, the sign I showed you at the beginning says it's priced by the pound. You tell them how much you want. Well, I thought that meant you tell them I want 8 ounces, 10 ounces. No, I did that. He says, I don't know what 8 or 10 ounces is. That's a bunch of junk. Man, it cuts meat regularly. You ought to know. I mean, how do steakhouses do it when they put it on the menu? How do they determine what's what? If a man's cut meat enough, he knows about what it's going to be. So that's how they get you right there. So you kind of gauge it from where you think. So he says, you tell me where to put the knife and how much. So you do that. I guess I kind of had him put the knife a little bit more than what we needed. So my eyeballs about jumped out of my head when I saw the price for that. Because that prime rib, we had him cut that real thin. $36.99 a pound. I figured we'd get like an 8 ounce piece. We ended up, it was 0.77.
Yeah.
So that part covered $28 or something. And then when I saw the price of the brisket, that's 41. No, am I
Yeah.
right? Yeah, 41.
Yeah.
So just those two meats alone come to about $70. Now, previous to coming here, Tony Gore's was the most I'd ever paid for barbecue. Well, that is no longer the case.
And
So
you left absolutely stuck
I left
from his-
sick that day. I mean, but at least they gave you a bunch of food. They
They
give you
did.
more than usual, even though it was priced, I thought, through the roof.
They gave you a lot of food.
I'm leaving here today full, but I'm not leaving here today any more full than I leave when I go get barbecue at home, just to be honest with you. It's about the same. About the same amount of food for probably almost twice the money. Now, just the way they do it's very confusing. You walk in and the sides are inside, and then you can purchase, like she said, the macaroni and cheese or the baked potato, or if you want the free sides, it's beans. It's not baked beans like I was expecting. I figured here in Texas it'd be like home baked beans. It's not. It's pinto beans. They were good. I like the beans. So I just got beans and pickles for a side. So you open it up and they wrap the meat in butcher paper. And you don't get plates. You get a sheet of paper. It's like a thick piece of paper.
Thick piece of paper. And I was trying to watch other people. I never could see anybody using it, so I don't know.
I mean, honestly, if you're easily confused, you might want to find somewhere else to go.
Bring your own plate.
I'm still not sure I quite understand it. I'm just telling you how it went for us. But yeah, you don't get a plate. So anyway,
And let me just put this in there. When we were done eating, I saw a couple come and sit at a table across from us. And I don't know what exactly they all got to eat, but I saw him coming back from somewhere, and he had 2 slices of bread. So they never offered
I never did
us
see
any
bread.
bread, but I guess if you want bread, they have it there. But
I don't eat bread.
I mean, I don't either all the time either, but I'm just saying, so
Yeah.
just because you didn't see us with any, apparently they have it here
Yeah.
somewhere.
If I was going to get bread with barbecue, I'd want like garlic toast or something like Sonny's
Yeah,
barbecue does.
yeah. But I just,
And
we didn't show
I will
that.
say this: Sonny's barbecue has great beef brisket too. We just don't have one right at the house, but I forgot about them. But I guess what I want to get right down to is this: we came here today for Texas-style beef brisket, so I'm going to compare it to my standards at home of my favorites. Can I put this experience? Well, let me just say this: she's right. The brisket tasted like pot roast because of the lack of a smoke flavor. Now, once you go around the edges of it, it was a little bit more flavorful, but just the smoke flavor was not overpowering. The prime rib, I think I like the prime rib maybe a little better than you did. I thought the prime rib was better than the brisket. Excuse me. But the brisket itself, let's be fair, it's the most tender piece of meat
It was very
I've ever had. I've never had any type of meat that was that tender. I mean, it was just very soft. Excuse me, I got the hiccups now. You could cut it with a fork. When you chewed it, I have a swallowing issue with meat. I have to have a lot of drink. I could have swallowed this without a drink. Honestly, that's how tender it was. But as far as the flavor, it tasted a lot like pot roast, just to be honest with you. And the sauce was vinegar based. I did not know they did it that way in Texas. I don't know if that's typical here or not.
I wasn't very impressed with it, but I like a really sweet sauce.
And y'all know the Eastern North Carolina does the vinegar stuff. I'm not a fan. I'm just not. I like a tomato base. I like what I call real barbecue sauce, not liquid, but a good thick sauce. So,
And let me say this too: the brisket, he did ask. He says, "Do you want a more marbled piece or a linear
Yes.
piece?" So they do have that option.
Yeah.
We both did go with the more marbled, and it is a lot of marbling.
yes. A lot of fat, let's just say it that way. So the flavor of it, I'm going to just do it this way. I said that I like Preachers at Home and Haywood Smokehouse as my brisket places. I'm sorry, I cannot put this place above those two. I can't put it up there with them. I can't even put it up there with Sonny's Barbecue. That's me. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
would
mean, like I
disagree
said,
on that.
The
That's
meat's
fine.
more tender, just not as flavorful as I was hoping.
Yeah, so as far as saying, was I blown away by the Texas beef brisket experience? Not here. And if we come back to this area, we're going to try another one. Last
Yeah.
time we were at the Stockyards, we tried Risky's barbecue. And you know what? Risky's I would put above this, but it was probably on par with what we get at home too. I can't say in 2 tries I've been wowed by anything I've had here. The saltgrass steak was good. I mean, as far as barbecue or brisket, I think what we get at home is just as good, actually better. So I'm not telling you not to try it. I'm not going to do that, but I think if we come back to Fort Worth Stockyards, I think I'd try somewhere else. That's my
Yeah.
review. That's our experience. That's our opinion. You may love it. That's fine. But that was our experience here. So I think that's what I was going to ask you too.
I was going to say, don't preach your question.
Well, how would you compare it with the 2 I mentioned, or wherever your favorite back home is?
Well, I mean, I thought of Haywood Smokehouse before you even said that as far as like a favorite.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, Haywood Smokehouse. I mean, this here, I would say was probably a lot more tender. Not saying Haywood isn't tender,
Yeah, I'll give it that.
but this is more tender like pot roast. As far as just flavor, yeah, I'd go with Haywood Smokehouse.
And Haywood Smokehouse brisket's tender too. It's
It
like a
is.
brisket should be.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a fair statement. If I had to take, if you offered me one, I could only have one. I would take Haywood any day.
Yeah.
And I don't like to compare businesses in the review of one place, but since
They're,
this is
they're not competition.
since this is but this is also billed as Texas authentic barbecue or brisket, and that's supposed to be different. I have to have a standard of comparison. I wasn't blown away.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but that's just the way it is. I'm not going to stand here and tell you what I don't feel. So anyway, that's that. So anyway, thank y'all for watching this far. I know this is a long closeout, but if you like this video or like the content, like and subscribe,
And find us on Facebook.
and have a blessed day.